Tuesday's lesson. We are going to carry on with the diary entry today, and we're going to do the second part of it. I read your diary entries from Monday and they're really good. So today we're just going to finish them off. So I'm just going to share my screen with you so you can see my example of the diary. Okay, so we're going to use our plan to finish our jungle log or the diary entry off. Let me just make sure my volume's up. So my plan yesterday, we looked at the start of it, and then we looked at where I'd gone into the enchanted jungle, and then what I'd taken with me, and then 2 things that had happened to me so far in the jungle. Now, the second part of my plan, because remember we did our plan over 2 days, something else happened. So I lay on the pink grass to take a break and eat some food while listening to the animal noises. I picked candy floss off a tree that it grew off and I ate it. And then I took pictures of plants and insects. So today you will need to write your 3rd event and your 4th event. So my 4th event said there were green clouds appeared in the sky and it started to rain frogs. I sheltered under a tree that formed an umbrella and I took plant samples. So obviously those are just my notes. You'll need to actually develop it into sentences like I showed you yesterday. And then the end of my jungle log, I said the fairies led me back towards the wardrobe entrance. The sun was setting as the music was getting quieter. I got home, looked through the pictures and plant samples and noticed a frog had landed in my bag. Now, I haven't written these 2 sections because they're similar to the 2 sections that I did yesterday, except it's different events that are happening. But I have done the last paragraph. So I'll just read that out to you. I've said, finally, the friendly fairies led me back through the enchanted jungle because the sun was setting by getting quieter and quieter. As I walked through this extraordinary jungle, I thought about how this had been my favourite of all the jungles. I had a wonderful time and didn't want to leave, but I knew my parents would wonder where I was soon. Sadly, I said goodbye to the fairies and entered the wardrobe. At home, I emptied my rucksack of the contents. Carefully, I placed the exotic plant samples on my bedside table and excitedly flicked through the photos on my camera. Suddenly, my bag started to move and I could hear a croaking noise coming from it. I looked inside and there was a frog that must have landed in it when it was raining. Guess I will need to go back there after all. And that's the end of my jungle log. So I've highlighted things in blue. So we've got finally, which is a time opener. We said to open each paragraph with a time opener. And because it's the last thing that's happening, I've used finally. I've got friendly fairies to describe the fairies. I've used because as a conjunction to explain why something is happening. I've got fronted adverbials as I walk through the extraordinary jungle, so that's telling me where. Also, extraordinary is an adjective. I've got favourite, adjective. I've got an exclamation mark, wonderful, adjective. I've used but here. So I've said that I've had a wonderful time, but I knew my parents would wonder where I was. So that is my oppositional conjunction. I've started a sentence here with sadly, which is my fronted adverbial that tells me how. So sadly, I had to say goodbye. At home is another fronted adverbial. Remember to put commas after your fronted adverbials, please. So at home tells me where. Another fronted adverbial here, carefully. I've got exotic to describe the plants. Excitedly, I flick through the photos, so that's an adverb. Suddenly, we've got when to join a sentence together. So it's all the things that I asked you to include yesterday. So if we look, I said you needed to make sure it was in past tense because it's already happened, you've already been there. You had to include adjectives. You needed to tell me how you felt at different points during the jungle log. You needed to use a range of punctuation. So you could use question mark, full stop, capital letters, exclamation marks, apostrophes. To include fronted adverbials to tell me when, where or how. And then a range of conjunctions. So if you've already used, also don't use it again, try and use some different ones. But remember, different conjunctions are used for different reasons. So, although I've only done one paragraph today, you're going to do 3 paragraphs. So you're going to do what happened in event 3 in your, so make sure you have your plan in front of you, what happened in event 4, and then the last paragraph when you finally went back home, which is the one that I'm modelled here. So you're doing your last 3 paragraphs today. Please have your plan in front of you to use your ideas, because these are my ideas and your jungle was different to mine. And I've put these wolves up on Purple Mash so you know what to include. If you have any problems, message me on the blog, but I look forward to reading the rest of this later. Thanks, guys. Bye.